vroom, 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 vroom. What you looking at? What you looking at? Don't you know who my family is? Don't you know my family? Vroom, 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 vroom. I pay homeless people to have ego deaths so I don't have to. I drive a BMW M4, and I know how to drive stick, and I know how to cleanse my own farts using the power of capitalism. My flatulence smells like short-term capital gains. My mom's cleaning lady looks like me, and my dad kisses men. BMW M4.
Got this, get this, everything
You
good.
got this.
Where's my go? I'm in the third. There's the turbo. Buffering wind noise. Here I come, everybody.
But you can now see why I love this car.
Yeah.
I like the BMW M4, but I can't ignore the similarities to an S550 Mustang. Both are high-revving torque beasts, front engines, rear drives, 6 speeds in the middle, and useless back seats, aggressive faces, and loud exhausts from the factory. The only differences are that the Mustang is a naturally aspirated V8 and a BMW is a turbo i6 with a water-to-air intercooler and no sense of self-reflection. BMW M4, the official car of mouthing off at a ski resort because you never caught hands in your life. M4, the official car of private equity preteens at Blue Mountain Ski Area in Palmerton, Pennsylvania, who have crash outs if their moms don't buy them $18 plain hamburgers. BMW M4, brought to you by a vinyl hose going from your anus to a Y coupling and up both nostrils. Look under this hood. I'm glad I don't have to work on this. You have to take the bracers off just to change the spark plug. But I like the double air cleaners. That's visually appealing. Like a woman who does a lot of bicep curls and tricep pushdowns and will flex for me while I think about Samus and try not to bust at LA Fitness, the one next to the Wegmans. BMW M4 for gym face maxers who think they can win the sauna. You make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a closeted father. Today's episode of Regular Car Reviews is sponsored by LazFit. In case you're living under a rock, the East Coast is living under snow. And with snow comes big chunks of rock salt that just follow you everywhere. And they follow into your car. And there's nothing more disheartening, I mean, take it from me, of just seeing your floor mat turn white and crusty and nasty and realizing that you're going to have to haul the shop vac out and deep clean your floor mats after all the road salts and the brine? The brine. People in the Southwest don't know what I'm talking about. But that's not a problem with LazFit. These are laser-fitted mats made to fit perfectly into your footwells. They go all the way to the edges. They go up underneath the pedals. Get into your car with snowy, sloppy boots and forget about it because they're so easy to clean. You take them out, you spray them down, put them in your slop sink, let them dry, put them back in. And they look fantastic too. And they're also free from harmful chemicals. They're made with high quality TPE materials. Here we're putting them into my friend's Hyundai Santa Cruz. This is before the snow fell, but he is so happy they're in there now. So click on the link in the description and use code RCR to save money on the LazFit website. Once again, click the link in the description and use code RCR to save money on the LazFit website. Thank you. I like the color. It reminds me of the money your dad pays me to put on lipstick and dress up as Tom Brady. The owner, Julie, has a story. One time she takes this back to the dealership because, they give you, some incentives and take it back to the dealership for like basic maintenance or whatever. And she gets this story from the service department that they found a rat's nest in the wiring harness, teeth marks on certain wires, and they're going to have to replace the wiring harness. It's not going to be covered under warranty, but you have to do it, and that's $8,000. And they sent her pictures, and the teeth marks were Sharpie marks. I kid you not. Real story. She pretty much told them to go piss up a rope and keep their mouths open. Each gear change of this M4 feels like a longbow releasing. If you try to pull away from a light smoothly, the M4 fights you and bucks. It's like the car wants you to drive it angry. Now, there is a way around this. If you got to pull out smoothly, is to not use the throttle. Your right foot, that stays on the floor. Left foot, pull out and let the idle circuit thrust the car forward, and put on Jocko Willink lectures because the M4 can't bust without hearing about leadership capital. Lots of wind noise in here. And the highway. It's uncharacteristic for a BMW, honestly. Sounds like a Nissan 370Z in here, buckets come. BMW M4. A car for a man whose childhood was punctuated by terrifying moments in gym class. You see, he was picked last for games, even after the girls, and he's never been able to get over it. So he shows up to class reunions wearing a citizen's watch that's been polished with cerium oxide, and he wears it over top of his sleeve. I do like how you get power anytime you want it. BMW did a good job at managing boost and not forcing you to wait. You get whatever you want, anytime. BMW M4, for the man who only busts to AI porn. I like the shape of the manual shift knob, and it hasn't changed since the 1980s. BMW M4, for the man who only busts to AI furry porn. He fakes a sales call in a public bathroom stall and brings a cheap bottle of sparkling wine with him so he can pop the cork and celebrate the fake close. His anus grows sore from waiting for other people to walk into the bathroom so he can loudly say, "We have a deal!" And a cork arcs over the top of the stall door while spurts of semen fall underneath.
Janet will be in touch with some paperwork.
2022 BMW M4, the Oktoberfest Mustang. This is what happens when German refinement meets casual American aggression. Because cars like this only happen when you have something to prove. But you're offended by the suggestion that you have something to prove. They use phrases like, "There's no mindset but the grindset." And then they call someone gay because they read for pleasure. Look, I don't think I have to tell you that BMW already has the market cornered on entitlement. Cars for drivers who have unearned memberships in the gilded circles of social advantage. What do you do? No, what do you do? No, going to Aspen Snowmass just to use the hot tub doesn't count. BMW M4, a car for people who can sneeze 3 times in a row without being told to shut up. This is the prom king turned business major turned junior partner with a Rolex to tell time and a smartwatch to track calories. You know those rich, entitled jackwagons who grow up to be the kind of man who never remembers a birthday or anniversary without digital assistance, but remembers the clubhouse phone number by heart. This tells me you've had the charmed kind of life that glides like tarsal bones across the velvety film of privilege. This is the performance version of the standard G22 4 Series. For North America, only a manual transmission was available for the base, whereas the competition model was limited to an automatic, which feels like a counterintuitive way of doing things, right? But it makes more sense when you consider that the different power loads they're expected to handle. The 3-liter twin-turbo straight-six made 473 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque for the base model, but was tuned to 503 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque for the competition model. The automatic uses a torque converter, so it's not really a problem, but the manual transmission obviously doesn't, and so if it isn't capable of handling the increase, really the torque, horsepower, it's the torque that matters. BMW could either just equip the competition with an automatic or re-engineer and reinforce the manual transmission or put a different manual transmission altogether so it can handle the competition power loads, but maybe if a more robust manual transmission, maybe it couldn't fit and they'd have to change the belly pan of the car, so maybe a larger bell housing, if there was inches to spare and they looked at it and like, look, we really can't justify the price difference that it would cost to re-engineer the whole car for a larger transmission for have a manual, and then you just didn't do it. So from that standpoint, the choice is clear. And I'm not sure the M4 necessarily suffers for it, although you and I, if this was in our market, I think most people would gladly pay more for a manual on the competition model. This M4 only has around 46,000 miles. And beyond having to get the bumper cover replaced, after being rear-ended, the M4 has held up pretty well. Except for that frickin' dealership that tried to fake teeth marks. Number one, they're scumbags. And number two, I think it's tied back to the psychology of privilege. That's tied to owning a BMW, to where people assumed you're blind to your own advantages in life, and you have infinite money, which means you'll be blind to any attempt to take advantage of your advantages. And I could see a scenario where a mechanic or repair shop might look at a BMW driver and justify it. Like they deserve to be taken advantage of, because what's a few $1,000 to them? And in that way, sometimes I feel bad for BMW drivers because I don't think even Tesla drivers get it this badly from the general public, because BMW drivers have been dealing with this stereotype for decades. Whether it's from people trying to pull one over on the people who might not know much about their car beyond it simply being nice, or whether it's people painting all BMW drivers with the same brush because a 528 cut them off in traffic once. But much like people assuming you're a divorced man in a midlife crisis if you drive a Corvette, or if you're a married man whose opinions are as amber-like as the tendons in your hip flexors, people are going to assume you have more money than sense when you drive a BMW, particularly an M4, which gives the vibes of somebody who has more disposable income than regard for other people. It's a car that screams self-importance at the top of its lungs. Now, supposedly, this one's new gear oil every 50,000 miles for the manual transmission. And weirdly, BMW says you can go 10,000 miles between oil changes? I don't know if I believe that. I believe the oil could last that long, but does the oil filter last that long? But in BMW fashion, some of the electronic components can be a bit wonky. For instance, Julie had to tape over the infrared hand sensor because it was constantly going off. From what we found, it seems the sensors on this model tend to be on the sensitive side, so it's not as if this isn't anticipated. And while taping over the sensors probably isn't ideal, it is a fairly cheap solution in comparison to other tech-forward cars that might force you to swap out an entire assembly just to fix a single problem. But BMW has never tried to fight its image that it goes hand in hand with privilege, because both rely on the concept of meritocracy. I'm in this position because I deserve to be. I have privilege because I deserve to have it. I enjoy these advantages because the world is just. In the early days of RCR, there were no viewers more sensitive than BMW owners who would come out of the woodwork to defend the brand, because any criticism of the articles of privilege reads like a critique of the person for whom those symbols have meaning. Oh, you can't rag on the 330Ci without explaining why you hate me. Except it's just an observation. Maybe it's a value judgment, but it's not all-encompassing. People contain multitudes, and BMW owners have layers. Some BMW owners are down to earth, just like Julie. Some are enthusiasts who worked very hard to be able to earn the privilege that they enjoy. And some are people who may not know much about their car beyond the fact that it's really nice. And yet there are others that don't fall into any of those categories. And yes, only a BMW drives like a BMW. Shout out to Zach Clapman. He understands that when it comes time to really digging into a corner, and you want rear wheel drive, and you want a 2-door hatch or a 4-door sedan that feels like a 2-door hatch, only a BMW will do. This M4 is a fantastic sports car for people who don't want just another V8 conformity mobile or a Toyota GR86. It bites into corners and slingshots you onto on-ramps. It accelerates around slowpokes as if 20 miles per hour over the speed limit is an insult to gasoline and human potential. Driving any M car will influence your thoughts. You will begin to look down at slower traffic with contempt, like one would look down on former athletes or actors who became fat and revolting, or former valedictorians and salutatorians who now deliver DoorDash full time. What happened? It's wrong, and you're a bad person if you condescend that way, but an M4 will fill you with that privileged perspective. Excuse me, Ford Ranger with your bed full of washing machines? Have you tried pressing your right foot down a little more? Hey, burnt out valedictorian. Have you tried not feeling bad? Is it a good car? Yes. Does money solve a lot of problems? Yes. But at some point, money turns you into an exaggerated version of what's inside, and an M4 will do the same. So buy an M4, but only after you've addressed and solved all your internal bullshit.
Brian Defendant, we're going to be taking a right turn off this off-ramp, and we are clear to merge.
Yep.
Buckets of cum, buckets of cum. I all I wanted to do is just say, do the adult version of the penis game at the AACA gala, just like buckets of cum, buckets of cum, buckets of cum, buckets of cum, buckets of cum.
What you got to do is weave it into sentences. Yeah, I've been here all day, buckets of cum. And then they say, wait, what? No, what?
You know, I always really liked seeing that. You know, it's the first time I've ever seen Stanley steamers, and they're really taking buckets of cum really
like,
well. What did I say?
I don't know. I think you need to get your hearing checked.
Thank you for watching to the end of the video. If you come this far, maybe you'd like to go a little bit farther. This is the giveaway for our Toyota Starlet GT Turbo, a fantastic hot hatch from the mid-90s. It makes about 165 horsepower, has a tune on it, and it weighs slightly more than 2,000 pounds. It's a fantastic car. We've been making videos on it, and we will continue to make videos on it. And you can win it. The giveaway ends at the end of February 2026, specifically Monday the 23rd. Click on the link in the description or go to fanofthem.com/regularcars. That's fanofthem.com/regularcars. The link's in the description. Buy some limited edition merch. You're helping out regular car reviews survive in a world of AI slop and short attention spans. Because of you and these giveaways, this channel can continue to function. So please, enter the giveaway. You're helping us out, and you're getting yourself some cool merch and a chance to win a car. This car makes me smile, and it's going to make you smile too. Going everywhere, that blow-off valve going, little engine screaming. It's giving that little bit of torque steer. I don't want to waste too much of your time talking about how cool this car is. So thank you so much for helping support regular car reviews. Once again, fanofthem.com/regularcars. Click the link in the description. Buy some limited edition merch and you're automatically entered to win this 1995 Toyota Starlet GT Turbo. Thank you. Have a wonderful week.